Hello everyone, and how are you today? Welcome to my process video. I am setting up March in my Project Life hybrid album, and I really wanted to do something fun, mix some media, and I'm working with some texture paste, which is one of my favorite things to work with. This one is a cosmic shimmer paste, and I want to do something botanically inclined. I really love flowers, and I'm really feeling that lately. It's the start of fall here in Australia and I guess other parts of the southern hemisphere, and I just really love like whites and neutrals, and I was in that mood, so I'm just smooshing in some texture paste into two parts of this spread. My idea is to do a wreath with some bunches in those areas, the top right and bottom left hand corner of this page. So this will be the base, and it will actually be very subtle because I'm layering vellum and the wreath over this, but this is how I start the process, and I'm leaving that to dry. So now I take this piece of vellum. It's actually a piece of my scrap batch where I did some embossing of like a Moroccan tile, and so the left hand side has a bit of that as well. And I'm using this circle spin and trim device that I discovered lately. I always love cutting circles, but I don't always enjoy going into my laptop or my phone and setting up my Cricut, so I just thought I'd try this to see if it's any easier. I'm not quite certain if it was, but I really enjoy being able to just have an organic process that doesn't involve quite a lot of digital things, because sometimes you just want to be creative without, you know, software and apps. So I'm doing this at 5 inches and 4 inches. So the first one I did was the inner circle, which is 4 inches, and then I'm pushing this one out to the 5-inch mark. Now I'm using this for the very first time, and so I am also doing a lot of spinning and holding to ensure that I do cut through the paper. I used a thicker paper when I was testing it out a few minutes before, and it took a while to cut through. So for this one, it's a little bit thinner, but I am checking to see if it has cut all the way through before I move on to pulling it out of the device. So I noticed that section to the top left, which is where I probably have the least pressure because it's furthest away from me, wasn't cut all the way through. So I'm just trying to push that through some more, and then in the end I decide to kind of just push the blade a bit directly, and I'm pulling this out. I decided I can just cut the rest out, mainly because it has already imprinted and cut through parts of the paper, but just not all the way through. I'm just gonna take my scissors. It's my least favorite thing to do, using my scissors, but for the interest of time and wanting to get my page done, I'm gonna just cut that little snippet out. So once that's out, I could start working on my wreath, and I want to line it up with the vellum just to make sure that it is in the right spot and that I am starting to wrap my cord in the right area. I'm using a few bits of twine and so forth just to get some texture in. So I'm using 3 bits of twine, white, a cream and gold, and a gold metallic thread that I love. It's one of my favorites, so if you are following me, you probably see it for quite a bit. So yeah, just adding some texture. The goal for this spread really is to add as much texture as I can. I'm gonna add some pom-pom trim, some fluffy trim, just for fun. I have missed mixing some textures for a while, and I love it. So I'm also gonna add some plants in there, sprigs, Dile. So it's gonna be lots and lots of fun. So once I cut through the twine, I am going to continue wrapping bits of this frame with the other ones in no particular order, just some wrapping. Some gaps can be left if you'd like to, or you can do it very close together, which is what I did for this section, but it really doesn't matter. What does matter though is that you apply some kind of adhesive to your frame just to get it to stick a bit. But again, it really is based on your preference, because it would stay in place anyway, because I've knotted both sides of the thread. And then I'm going to cut off the excess bits and pieces and continue doing this for another part of the frame. So I'm just going to put some music on while I toggle with my thread, and I'll be right back with you shortly. So now that I'm almost complete wrapping the thread for this frame, I am just gonna tie that knot there. I feel like I have enough gold thread, and then I am going to move on to doing my die cuts. I do have quite a lot of sprigs and foliage dies at the moment, which I really love, and so I am enjoying using those. So I pulled out quite a few from my stash to do that, and then I'm just just gonna die cut them quickly. I recently got the mini Evolution, and so I have been enjoying working with this little machine. I keep it on my desk. This is how the foliage looks if you're wanting a look to see what the layer would look like. And then I am putting the ring on top of it, and so I love the different colors of the ring. And then I'm just pulling out these little sprigs, because I feel like with this small machine I could keep it on my desk and I can use it for just really the little dies that just add some texture to my spreads. And it's been like quite a lovely process so far. And of course it's pink, so I just felt like I needed it. It's tiny, so it's easy to use. And you know, like most times when we're doing dies, we're not doing like huge dies, so I feel like I could leave my other die machines when I'm doing like a big die base project. But for this one, I need like 2 or 3 sprigs to add to a wreath. I would definitely use a smaller die. I did toy with doing like a full sprig wreath, and in that case I would have had like a full A4 sheet of paper and just pass that through like my big shot switch. I feel like that would have been easy. But then when I decided to just use these 3, because it is a 6x8 and because I want to add other elements of texture, yeah, I kept it to this small machine. So just really powerful little machine, and I love working with it so far. So this has worked well for me. And then I also used 2 sheets of cardstock. It comes with these 3x4-ish sheets of paper when you buy the machine, and it also comes with some dies, some concentric circle dies, as well as some embossing folders for the machine. So those are pretty cool as well. I'm just passing this through because I may have used 3 sheets of paper and not 2, so I'm just passing through a second time just to make sure it doesn't tear at any point in the sprigs. I think the thing with the sprig dies, they're really pretty. They could be very delicate as well, so always take your time when removing them from the cardstock. And so just pulling those out quickly and putting them into place, and yeah, adding them to my spread. So once I've done this, then I kind of play around with where exactly I want to have these sprigs on the wreath, and then I adhere them into place. So I really love these. These are the new delicate leaves from scrapbook.com. I would link below all the items that I've used to make this spread, from the dies to the die cutting machine and so forth. These are affiliate links, and so to no cost of you, it doesn't cost you any more, but I do get a percentage of the sale, so that helps me to continue creating crafty content for you guys. So that would be lovely if you could follow the link below if you see anything that you do like and would like to have. I also have these lovely Prima Flowers, which are from autumn last year, and I love how small and delicate they are. And I picked these from my garden. These just little wispy flowers, and I'm pulling out all the texture that I have. So from trims to little butterflies that are kind of like mesh twill. I pull out this glue gun that I have as well, because I want to try some seals. And then I'm just gonna put everything in place and just add some depth to the wreath. So now that I have my sprigs, I'm just gonna glue them. I like where they are in that position. I actually felt like I didn't like having too many of them layered on top of each other, so I didn't feel like I needed to cut anymore in the end. And so yeah, these are just nice full little sprigs, and then I also layer those with some of the real life sprigs. I'm not sure if I need to like cover them with some sort of like Mod Podge or something to keep them in place, but I'll see how I go. I might just coat them with something, the actual flowers that I picked, but so far they look really pretty, and we'll see how they hold up over time. So these are little sprigs. They're just whimsical and wispy, and I like them, and I thought they'd add some nice texture to the spread. I really love the effect of having just something a bit living sometimes, or dried in my spreads. You know, like fruit or like dried anise I used a year. I think I used some pine cones or some orange peel. But yeah, I like how whimsical these flowers look. And I'm adding just 2 little sprigs in, and then I'm gonna tie them in place as well as glue them in place. I'm using some of the twine that I use. I'm gonna use some of the gold just so that you could see a bit more of the gold, because most of it is covered up now with sprigs, and I'm adding that to this part of the wreath, and then I will continue on to add other bits and pieces to the wreath, like the butterflies and so forth. So I'm just gonna put some music on while I wrap up this wreath. So here I decided to play with the wax seal kit for the first time. I love watching Instagram reels with people adding gold flakes and flowers to seal, so I decided to try it out. I probably could leave this out of the video, but I just wanted to show you this is what I did. I probably need a lot more practice, a bit more practice, so I'm probably just gonna do practice just a bit in another video with different types of reels most likely on Instagram. Sorry, with different types of seals, not reels, different type of seals on Instagram. But this is my first shot at it, and I felt like it deserved to be here because I was really excited about it. And I do like how it came out. And I probably could add some other layers to it, like some gold trim with a pen or some sort of thing. But it was also a bit too big for this wreath. And I just decided not to use it in the end. But here's my first attempt at wax sealing making. So now I'm just gonna wrap up this spread. I'm just gonna put the text in. I'm using these Felicity Jane alphas that I have. One of my goals this year is to use as many of my alphas as I can. Last year I did quite a lot of stamping and I really loved it, and then this year I'm realizing how many alphas I do have in all shapes, colors, sizes, and I think it's so much easier than stamping. So I'll probably and sometimes you just get kind of cleaner look, so it just depends. But yeah, here I am just trying out the seal. It wasn't completely smooth or perfect, but it did have some flowers in it, and I might just tuck it into a spread. So I'm just adding these in. I usually start with the middle letter of my word. I haven't glued the wreath in place yet because I just want to make sure that the words fit nicely within the wreath. I did measure these letters. I should mention that before I even started this project to see approximately the length of March, and that is what made me do the circle at 4.5 or 4 inches wide, because I wanted to ensure that the words with these alphas could fit perfectly inside the wreath and still have a bit of white space on the side. So this is exactly a perfect fit for me. I really like how it looks. I was going to put some vellum big numbers behind, but I decided in the end to use these small gold puffy numbers on it. And once I have this in place, I can say that this spread is pretty much done. I am just gonna add these little ones. I also like this particular numbers because they have like the little dots instead of like the 6 and the 9, and I tend to use those as well because I think they just add like an element of you know, just extra finish, extra detail to the spread, and I really love how that turns out. So this is it, guys. I'm just gonna fix my number 3. It's a bit wonky right now, and then I am going to stick my wreath into place, and this is my spread. So I really hope that you enjoyed my video. I love being here with you. Please like, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe to my channel. I would really love to share more with you, and I'd love to hear how your crafty journey is going this year. Also, for additional content, you can check out my Instagram page at Nalan Has a Plan. There's a link for that here as well on my channel. So I look forward to sharing more with you guys this year. Do have a wonderful day. Bye.